Oh, CinemaSins didn't make a custom intro for TV Sins. TV Sins! I probably should have sinned this previously, but I hate this new style of title card. It looks so unesthetically pleasing. The text is in the wrong order.
Summer break.
I get that summer is fun for kids and everything, but does every damn Disney cartoon have to take place in the summer?
The only other Disney cartoon I can think of that takes place in the summer is Phineas and Ferb. I'm pretty sure there aren't as many of them as you say. But even ignoring that, Gravity Falls needs to take place in the summer for the story it tells. The entire show is a coming-of-age story for Dipper and Mabel. And summer is viewed as a transition between ages because school will always feel different each and every year.
Rubbing your face on swine.
Sinning this. This is just unacceptable.
What is this? Is that the Konami code? I have zero understanding of how this may play out in the show, but so help me if they're just inserting it here for chuckles and fan winks. That is an abuse of the code, which, by the way, is for video games and not videos. Also, this says, Stan is not what he seems, and honestly, is anyone surprised by this? I mean, if I'm going to spend time deciphering a Caesar cipher, tell me something I couldn't figure out on my own, damn it.
Well, the thing is, you could interpret multiple things from this. It could simply be foreshadowing for the title of a later episode. It could simply hint that Stan is not as dumb as he seems. It could simply hint that Stan is not as mean as he seems. Or it could simply hint that Stan is not as nice as he seems.
It all began when our parents decided we could use some fresh air.
I believe you meant it all began when your parents decided that they were going to have sex that summer whenever and wherever they wanted, but semantics.
My sister tended to look on the bright side of things.
Yay! Grass!
Grass is 100% effective.
I'm not even gonna let Aaron Dicer speak for this one because nothing he says is any more valuable than the scene itself. Also, a sin was added to the sin counter when you started talking rather than when the ding played, so now there's more sins than you intended.
Grunkle Stan, whenever I'm in those woods, I feel like I'm being watched.
And you probably are, by that 28-year-old who's obsessed with turtles.
What are you even supposed to say sometimes? Also, obsessed with turtles? Yes, because if you're holding something, that automatically means you're obsessed with it.
Why does Grunkle Stan even put signs up in the forest? There's not a defined road through here that anyone would be driving on. So are they just making sure they don't miss out on random hikers?
Yes, they could also be for people going on a walk or bike ride in the woods.
Floating eyeballs, are they watching me? I mean, I guess that's a valid question when you see floating eyeballs, but we don't have to question and study everything. Some things we should just scream our asses off and hightail it out of there.
It's almost as if the author is the type of person who studies everything and doesn't tend to run away.
And get this, after a certain point, the pages just stop. Like the guy who was writing it mysteriously disappeared.
Or he just decided to quit writing because it wasn't paying the bills and he needed to get a real job. See, Mom? People really do want Mulder and Scully fan fiction. Sorry, I might have had a flashback there.
I'm pretty sure if that was the case, he'd throw it away instead of hiding it in the middle of the woods.
In the half hour I was gone, you already found a boyfriend?
Moving past the awkwardness of a 12-year-old going on a date, let's clarify that she said she had a date. A date is very different than having a boyfriend.
From Mabel's perspective, having a date is having a boyfriend.
Are you bleeding, Norman? It's jam.
Fine, maybe Norman could get away with that, but why is no one asking about the branch and blade of grass protruding from his head? And considering we find out that this is several gnomes impersonating a human male, why did they choose to put a branch and blade of grass there in the first place?
That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Do you think that the gnomes deliberately put that blade of grass there on purpose? No! It could not be more clear that they accidentally bumped into a tree, which caused a blade of grass to be stuck to his head. Like, why do I have to explain this?
But you gotta have evidence. Otherwise, people are gonna think you're a major league cuckoo clock.
I guess Twitter hasn't made its way to Gravity Falls yet.
You think he
might be a vampire? That would be so awesome!
Would it, though? I always feel like I'm missing something important when it comes to understanding why a vampire would be attractive to anyone. In the con column, I have they kill you, they make you undead, they're bored with you because they've lived too damn long, and they probably smell bad. And in the pro column, I wrote pasta, parm, basic 4 cereal. Oh, that's where my grocery list went. Hold on, I just need to add one last thing here. Perfect.
Leave it to Aaron Dicer to not understand that the attractive vampire trope came from Twilight.
It all adds up. The bleeding, the limp.
Actually, it doesn't all add up, because once again, Norman is several gnomes, so why was he ever bleeding? When we see the gnomes later, they're not bleeding.
There are 2 possible explanations. 1, it actually was jam, or 2, he really was bleeding. Also,
when we see the gnomes later, they're not bleeding.
just because something isn't bleeding all the time doesn't mean it can't bleed.
Finally, we're alone.
Yes. Alone.
But this isn't the first time they've been alone, right? So why hasn't Norman revealed his true purpose before now?
Maybe he wanted Mabel to know him better so that she'd be open to hearing a big secret.
Because we're gonna kidnap you.
Mabel might be a kid, but she's big enough to be able to handle 5 gnomes. Well, really, it's 4 gnomes and...
Schmabulok.
So this kidnapping seems not only arbitrary, but also impossible.
Mabel was caught off guard, and later we see that there's more than 5 gnomes who were probably close by. Also, just because Schmabulok can't say anything other than his name doesn't mean that he's dumb. Groot can only say his name, but that doesn't make him useless. Also, what is arbitrary about this kidnapping?
Tasting the rainbow.
Sinning this. This is just unacceptable.
Gnomes, little men of the Gravity Falls forest.
But the picture shows 4 fingers and a thumb, while none of the gnomes have more than 3 fingers. So is this a mistake? Or a clue? And sure, you might say, watch the show and find out for yourself, to which I say, Paul has 4 fingers. This picture has 4 fingers. This book shows 5 fingers. 4 fingers, 3 fingers here, 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 and here. But then Purple Lady has 4 here. Grandma has 4. Suze has 4. Stan has 4. But the kids have 3. Yeah, I'm gonna go with continuity error and try my best to never care this much about phalanges again.
Maybe the drawing isn't 100% accurate. The gnome also has sparkling eyes in the picture, which the gnomes don't have. Also, why do you think someone would say, watch the show and find out, to your question? Also, the thumb is a finger. We need to stop acting like it's not. Also, this entire section full of nonsense is only here as pointless filler so that this video can be almost 10 minutes.
I'll get you back for this!
And what's stopping Jeff and the gnomes from getting them back? They know where Mabel is, and they can just Mighty Morphin up later and attack again, right? How are they going to sleep soundly tonight?
The gnomes are afraid of the leaf blower.
And I will have a grappling hook!
I can't go this entire video without giving some love to Mabel, be it in the writing or the awesome Kristen Schaulness of the character. She makes me laugh a lot, and man, do we need laughter these days.
Took you long enough.
But who knows what other secrets are waiting to be unlocked.
Whatever those secrets are, they shouldn't be too hard to unlock, considering that long after you punch them in, this super secret door leaves the keypad lights on for you. Who designed this thing, Motel 6?
Aaron is acting like the lights on the vending machine will give away the password while ignoring the fact that the lights go off a few seconds later. Also, we later find out that there's an elevator down there which requires another password, so